Yo guys, so I don't know if you can hear me at all right now, but I have the coolest point of view camera right now in the car. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a talk as I drive to the gym. Hopefully there's not too much traffic. Give me a sec, so just make sure the garage closes. But yeah, so the camera is actually right at my face right now, like where my forehead is, just in front of it, so I have to sit a little bit back, but hopefully this, is a cool point of view for everybody to watch and I guess listen to me yap for a little bit. So let's talk about how my life has been for the past however long. So for the past 6 months of the year, honestly, I have had an incredible change in my life. So on day one of this year, I actually made a video titled I'm 22 and this is the loneliest I've ever felt. Essentially in that video, I was just going over my thoughts, my feelings about, running an online business in Australia and not having any sort of other support around me that you would usually get as, a young guy trying to make it in, let's say for example, the traditional 9 to 5, right? So because I made that one video at the beginning of this year, I honestly feel like the rest of my year and the trajectory of my life actually changed so much for the better. And it's all been in sort of a mindset way, a networks and connections way, and just like my perspective on life, right? So back then I didn't have anybody around me or that was that close that I could really connect with and share the experience with. So I was by myself in Australia, didn't know any other Aussies that were doing what I was doing really, and I felt really, really disconnected. But now, fast forward 6 months later, today is it's the 1st of July today, which is pretty cool. So cool to actually make this video. Over the past 6 months, I've really grown so much as a person, and I think the biggest reason for that was just believing that I could and then taking action towards that belief. So when I made that video, I knew that I was going to be successful later on in the year, and now 6 months later I've achieved so much more success than I ever would have thought of back on that first day of the year. But it was still just the mere fact that I took the action on that first day and I really committed to myself to post that, and ever since, that has still been my best performing video on my entire channel so far. And I think it's just because I was being very raw and very authentic about what I was feeling, who I was at the time, and I guess other people could relate to that message. Now I'm hoping that other people can also relate to this message that I'm putting out now for this specific video, but it's kind of a reflection of the past 6 months and what has changed a lot in my life. So I've been to 4 different countries, I guess you could say, as proper travel/work destinations. So first country I went to, which honestly I believe really, really changed my life and my perspective and exploded my network and changed the trajectory of everything, was Cape Town. So Cape Town, South Africa was the first city and different country I went to this year. That was in February. So in Cape Town, I really found my people. I found a bunch of other guys that were just exactly like me, very similar to the level that I was at, had very similar feelings. Some of them had already been friends online for months prior to that, but I'd never really met up with them in life. And not being able to meet up with people in life makes you feel very, very isolated, especially if all the people that you know are overseas like they were. So they were in, South Africa, Nigeria, Sweden, Italy, America, all of these different countries on the other side of the world from me, where I am in Australia, right? And so meeting up with them in Cape Town and spending time with them for 2 weeks honestly meant so much to me and got me out of the place where I was alone. Like, I was literally around 10 other guys for 2 weeks, 10 and more other guys for 2 weeks, hustling, you know, filming content, having fun together, just being young entrepreneurs in a space where you don't get to have that much in person, especially if you're all over the world. And so Cape Town, my first experience going overseas, was honestly incredible, and still, I believe, is the best experience that I've had this year in terms of going overseas. So that was February. Now in April, I went to New York. So New York was incredible. I went there for an event hosted by WAP. If anybody knows what WAP is, it's a digital marketplace. They also have things like a payment processor, a course and community builder kind of thing, similar to school.com, if you've ever heard of that as well. And they have a bunch of other things, and I really enjoyed the event that WAP held. I actually got my own company logo on a Times Square billboard for about 10 seconds of fame, but still honestly an incredible experience. And from there I also met new people that I never would have before if it wasn't for, you know, traveling and being an online entrepreneur and being able to do things that most other people wouldn't be able to do. And so for that experience as well, I'm very grateful. On that experience, I want to be very transparent as well. I had a lot of stress where I dropped so much money on that trip, and essentially I was not able to pay for a lot, which made me very stressed, and that continued into the next few trips as well. But yeah, New York, honestly a great time and a great experience. I really love New York. It's one of the best cities that I've been to personally, and it's much more my vibe than most of the other cities that I've actually been to. But yeah, so did New York, came back, and then in early May I went to Greece. So Greece was a very fun and interesting time as well. So Greece is made up of a lot of islands if you're not on the mainland where Athens is, right? So all of the islands like Mykonos, Santorini, all of those are islands, and the only way to get between those islands are by ferries, which takes roughly 2 hours between each island. So my friends and I, we decided to get an incredible villa, but on the absolute worst island you could pick. So this island was called Andros. I would not recommend it to anybody if they want to go and get an Airbnb for like 2 weeks, because there's nothing to do on the island. The only food we really had was pork gyros. That's pretty scary, to be honest, to have pork gyros for 2 weeks straight. But yeah, Greece was a great time, made a lot of content there and locked in. But I think the biggest thing that Greece did for me specifically was on a certain Sunday, because when we were in Greece it was rainy and it was really windy, so not the best time to be there during like April, May, and I would not recommend it for anybody. But yeah, it was very rainy, windy. So on the one sunny day, which was a Sunday, we decided to do a day trip, my friends and I, to Mykonos. And just for context as well, some of the guys who were on this trip to Greece was the guys that I met in Cape Town during February, which was very cool, that we got to get back together and have more fun, right? But yeah, so we went to Mykonos for a day, and then we missed the ferry back, and that was the only ferry back for the day, essentially. And so because we missed it, we had to stay a night. You know, not a huge problem, but for the next 2 days the ferries were cancelled because the winds were too strong, and so the weather was pretty bad. The ferries couldn't operate, so we spent 4 days in Mykonos. And during that time, you know, didn't have anything but my phone and the clothes that I got to the island with. And so all I did, we had an Airbnb for 3 nights. I sat on my phone with ChatGPT and the Notes app and just built out a completely new consulting offer, which is what I'm running right now with my business. So I'm not doing a done for you agency anymore, but rather, since within that time up until then I had already scaled my agency to over $20,000 a month. I am now using that skill and that knowledge and all of the systems that I actually built to achieve that to help out other agency owners who either are at a lower level, slightly lower, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 a month, and they need a reliable client acquisition system, or even agency owners above that who are mainly doing cold outreach and want to build a reliable paid acquisition system, essentially. So that's just a quick tangent. That's what I'm doing now. But during those 4 days, that's all I was doing. And so I was building out that offer, which has really taken off now, which I'm very grateful for. And it's what essentially I'm doing now with my business. So because of that, you know, you could call it a negative experience, that allowed me to put my head down and say and realize rather that I didn't want to do the agency anymore and I wasn't enjoying it. And so I made a pivot to actually helping other agency owners do what I did. And that has given me so much more fulfillment and joy that you know, I'm really happy doing what I'm doing now. And 6 months later, my life is completely changed, right? And so after Greece, actually, so after the Mykonos incident happened, we came back to the island Andros, did another week back at the same villa that we got originally. And then what we did was we went to Dubai for a couple of days. Funny thing, because I was with my girlfriend during New York, Greece, and Dubai as well. So my friends and I, we decided to go to Dubai together, but we didn't actually meet each other at all during Dubai. It was maybe 4 or 5 days, but we got separate Airbnbs, so we didn't actually get to see each other at all. We had different schedules. But that's when I got my first consulting client, which is very cool, and which is I'm very grateful for. Because of all the content and the results that I'd be posting and all of the value that I had been sharing over the past few months from literally last year, plus a little bit from the beginning of this year, obviously when I made that very first video, I got my first consulting client because of that. And it honestly just made me think about how much the compound effect you know, kind of plays into these kind of things. Because without me making all of that content and providing all of that value and being vulnerable and sharing who I was, I don't think I could have gotten my first client that easily. And sorry, give me a second. I'm just trying to park and it's a little bit hard to see right now. Sorry, give me a sec. If you see my head, that's a bit funny. But I think we should be good. Let me just readjust. It's a bit hard to see right now, but I think we made it. Beautiful. I think I'm very off for some reason. Very off. Sorry guys, it's been rainy. I can't really see much and the camera is on my forehead. So yeah. Alright, whatever. We'll take it if we can get parked here. Alright. Hopefully I can get out fine. But yeah, just wanted to give everybody an update, kind of do a little bit of reflection on how the past 6 months has gone for myself. And honestly, I am so grateful for everything that's happened, every single person that I've met, all my new clients, even all my old clients, very grateful for them. And for the next 6 months of the year, I'm really excited to show you guys what is going to be happening with me, what I've got planned, the things I'm going to do, the places I'm going to travel to. And yeah, I'm honestly just super excited. No call to action or anything. That was pretty much the video. Hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Peace out.